Welcome to Charlene's Kitchen. How about some nice juicy pot roast with peppers and onions? Oh, yum, yum. We're going to make that today. What we have here is about a 5 pound chuck roast. Okay, it's dandy. It's just a beautiful piece of meat. And I'm going to just jab it with this fork uh, for tenderizing, to tenderize it, to get these holes open so that when we put it into our marinade overnight, it's going to seep into there, okay? And if you find there's a spot that's kind of tough, just go into it. So let's turn that over, and let's do the same on this side. I can tell you right away, this is going to be more tender, this side, and this side is tough. So let's just don't get your hand caught in that. But if you have any type of I don't know, this is just a really nice big fork, see? And so I'm just using that, and I'm leaving that fat in there because we need it. We need it. Okay, so just take your aggression out on this thing. So here we are. Okay, now I'm going to sprinkle some salt. I've got this kosher salt, Morton's kosher salt, and I'm going to sprinkle that around. A little pepper, a coarse grind pepper. It's like a restaurant style pepper, you might say, a little bit bigger. A little rosemary, garlic around there, and some paprika. We're going to sprinkle some paprika. Now, let's see, the salt, the pepper, the Italian seasoning, we're going to put that around there. A little rosemary, garlic, okay, like that. I'm going to just rub that in there. Rub that all in there. Let's turn that over. Let's do that all again. A little, I'm going to jack this up a little bit more. Yeah, this looks good. See, it's like a serving fork. It's wider, so it's giving me a little bit of a bigger, rather than a regular dinner fork. They're larger. So we're going to sprinkle some of that Morton's kosher salt on there. A little paprika, a little bit of black pepper. Okay. A little Italian seasoning, a little rosemary, garlic. All right, so all the things that can kind of stick to it, and we're going to rub that into that meat. Okay, like so. Now, in this bowl over here, I chopped up a huge piece of garlic. I want to tell you, they didn't have any nice, really garlic. This is called elephant garlic. It's a big bulb. You see that? So I took one of these. It's equivalent to probably 10 or 12 cloves of garlic. And in here, I have put in a 1/4 cup of water, a 1/4 cup of vinegar, a 1/4 cup of olive oil, and a 1/4 cup of wine. So that's already in there. Also, I squeezed a whole lemon. A whole lemon was squeezed in here, and that's what this liquid is all about right here. See? Like so. What we're going to do, oh, and I also put a tablespoon of sugar in here. So this is what gets this kind of meat a little more tender. And this is going to sit in a bag overnight. Let's see, where's my bag? All right. Now, the reason that I like a bag like this is because I hope it's going to fit in there. It is a big piece of meat, but we can squeeze it in there. There it is. It works. It works. We'll just put this aside. When you put this together, you know, this doesn't take long. Just a couple of minutes. Bring out all the stuff that you think you want to put on there. Make your little sauce with your olive oil and your vinegar, sugar, lemon, the whole deal. And we're going to just put that sauce and pour it right onto that meat. Like that. That's it. And you know what I'm seeing here is a little sugar is sitting at the bottom. So I am going to have to scoop that one out. I should have probably mixed it a little better. Hold on. Hold on here. We got to get that all in there. That's all got to go in there. Okay, we're going to just scoop that all in there. That's it. This is going to go into the fridge overnight, and tomorrow we're going to roast it, okay? When you get that zipped up really nice, this is what I love about the bags, you know. Just move it around. Look at all that garlic that's there. Look at all that garlic. I think I'm going to buy those more often. You fool around with all those little cloves, and you have to chop them. And I just, God, one of those cloves did it, you know. So we're going to just mess around with this. And what you want to do is before you go, I'm going to put this in the fridge. I'm going to, before I go to bed, I'm going to turn it around again and just keep tossing it, right? So that it gets all that goodness is in there. See you tomorrow morning. Okay, boys and girls, here we are. I took that pot roast that we marinated overnight. I drained it. I took the sauce from it and cooked it up in a nice, in my pot here. The sauce is terrific. And a little, I did add a little chicken broth to it. And I just simmered it a little bit, and that's ready to go. But I cut up that pot roast, as you see. It was a big one, and you know, I look back at my what I said, and it wasn't a 5-pound, it was a 4-pound roast. Anyway, I cut it up, and I took out some of that fatty tissue that is around, you know. And what I'm going to do now is let's just salt that up a little bit, and we're going to put it in our bacon. I got that pan nice and hot, right up there. Okay. We're going to do a few pieces. Oops, I lost something. I got to lift it now. Okay. So, like so. And you remember this meat was in a nice marinade. All right. I'm not going to put all those pieces together in here because I don't want soup, okay? I want it to brown. Okay, so we're going to get that browned up, be right back. While that pot roast is browning up, I wanted to show you the veggies that we're going to put in. You know, I'm big on the vegetables. So 2 carrots, 2 sticks of celery, a green pepper, 1 large onion, some mushrooms. I bought bella mushrooms, and a poblano pepper. I didn't cut it up yet because I wanted to show you what that looks like. That is a very tasty pepper. And sometimes they even have a little heat to them. Not a lot, very mild. But it's always good to use these poblanos. If you see them at the store, grab them and put them into your roast. The nice sear on that pot roast. Oh boy, that just, I love to cook. I love to see this kind of result. I put those 2 onions in there. I'm going to start moving that meat into my roasting pan. I'm going to get a little sear on those onions before I put that all in the oven. Okay, so now I'm going to start removing this pot roast, these chunks of meat. They've got a nice browning up on them. Look absolutely delicious. I'm going to put that all in there. And I've got these onions in here now. I want them to just get a little bit of that sauce, huh? Just a little, put it around. Fun to cook like this. And you know what? Once we get through all of this, you just sit down and relax. Read your paper. Okay, now I'm going to add those onions in there. And now, I want to show you, let's get up a little closer here so we can see the frying pan. Okay, so you see all that wonderful stuff there. Okay. I'm going to add a bottle of beer to this. You can use wine. If you don't want to use beer, use wine. A red wine would be good if you have it. I'd put at least a cup. Okay, so now I added 2 beef bouillons when I was sauteing at the end of this. I'm going to put the third one in there. Let's get that broken down. We have to melt that down. Whoa. Oh. That's, don't you know, see? Okay. That little stinker popped on me. Okay, so now here we go. Get up all that good stuff that's sitting at the bottom of that pan. All that goodness. Let me tell you. Okay. We're just gonna, there we are. So you can see. I gotta see. What the heck? Gotta see what I'm doing. And then if you haven't made things like this before, go for it. You know, you don't have to do it for anybody else. Do it for yourself. These are wonderful meals. You want to invite somebody or you have a family to feed, wow, you're going to love it. I'm going to bring that to a boil. All right, and I'm going to start by let that simmer for a little bit. And I also, let me tell you, you notice I didn't put any garlic this time because there was plenty of garlic. You saw all the garlic I put in that marinade. And there's the sauce from that marinade. When I took that out of the meat out, there it is with the garlic in it. I don't need any more. I'm going to put that in there. Come on. Oh boy. And that was that tasty. So you don't throw that marinade, but you boil it up 10-15 minutes. I added a little chicken broth because I had some left over in the fridge, so I got rid of it. Threw it in there, brought it to a simmer. This is doing really nice for me here. Okay, while that's simmering, I'm going to add the vegetables. Just, you know, tuck them around. This is all going to just melt away into your sauce. Your celery, your peppers, just put it all around. Tuck it around. Okay. Don't want to have an accident here. Okay. So all my veggies are piled up on top. So what I do is I tuck them in. Tuck them in all over. Under the meat, over the meat. I don't like that piece. Okay. All the way around. All the way around. Everywhere, wherever you see a little space, okay? Tuck it around. This is too long. I'm going to cut it in half. There. And I should have a nice piece of meat here in the corner rather than the veggies. This is really working out nice. Remember these veggies, you know, they're sitting on top right now, but they're going to melt away. You'll know how that goes. Oh, here's my other celery stick. All right, so this is done. We brought that to a simmer. Oh, and you know what? I almost forgot my mushrooms. So we're going to put those on top. Put those on top. Bella mushrooms. All right. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's all I got to say. Wow. That's all I've got to say. In fact, I think I could put a couple more in there. I'm just going to break them in half. You don't have to cut them. Just break them in half. They cut up, break up real nice. And what happens with mushrooms when they break down? It's all, basically all water. So I'm going to pour my sauce now over this into this pan. Oh boy. That's it. That's it, guys. There it is. Look at that. Is that wonderful? Let me get this frying pan out of here. Oh, I should have one of those Barrington kitchens, right? I've got this little kitchen, all the little meals that I've made forever and a day. Look at that. And the sauce is in there. Oh, baby. We're going to now cover this, put it in a 350-degree oven. I'm going to check it in an hour. I'm sure it's going to take at least 2. But we did marinate it. We want to check it. Don't ever take it for granted because you got to check it. Maybe it needs more liquid or something. So in about an hour, we're going to look back at this. Well, so here we are. The pot roast is all done. It took 2.5 hours. And this is something that I want you to check. Roughly, a pot roast is usually takes at least 2 to 2.5 hours. And check it. After the first hour, just see how it's going. There's enough sauce. Of course, the fact that we had all those vegetables and the mushrooms and everything, that just makes for a terrific gravy. You don't really have to worry about that it would burn or there's not enough juice. It would be very unusual because you line it up with all those veggies. So here we are. It's, you know, just absolutely fork tender. And just look at this. I mean, look at this. This just falls apart. It's so delightful. And of course, it's a, let me get this so that you can see it. It's an old-fashioned meal, right? With the mashed potatoes and the peas and carrots right out of the pot roast. So you just look at this. This is so absolutely delightful. And there's mushrooms in here and everything. Oh my goodness. Here we go. You don't need teeth, to be honest with you. It's so good. I make several meals out of this. I'm going to show you my next video. I made a burrito out of this kind of meat. So easy, so good, and very versatile. I hope you try my recipe.